Welcome to the Slammers Podcast. This is the first episode of a mini-series that Ben and I have been wanting to do. And we are going to call this series Qualifying Chronicles. Since it's qualifier season, we said, hey, why don't we start rehashing some old qualifiers that we played in or some notable ones that have happened over the last 10 years or so. And Ben has dug pretty deep into the archives here. What are we going with here, Ben?
We're going 2017 BMW Philly Amateur Qualifier.
Okay.
This is being played host at the Greenbriar Oceanaire Golf Club in Watertown, New Jersey.
A real remote spot.
Right. Yeah.
Close to nobody.
Right. It's like not really the shore. It's
in between Long Beach Island and like Seaside.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, is close to really nobody in Gap. It's kind of amazing they even had a qualifier out there.
Right.
Like, how do they even get those guys on the horn? Like, how do they even come into the equation?
Right. I don't even know.
It's so weird, right?
Like, I've never seen any of them in the Gap matches. No one playing out of the club.
No.
In any tournaments.
A complete unknown.
Never. Yeah.
Once again, though, it's kind of like the 5 ponds. The only reason they did any business was because of the Saturday qualifier.
Right.
They basically just took anyone that didn't have a choice, right? Couldn't take the day off of work. And they made the trip down.
Right. I think that was 2017. I was 19 at the time. I have no idea why I selected this qualifier. Do you?
I don't either, to be honest with you. I don't know what the other qualifiers were that year. Maybe there wasn't any other good options, or maybe it filled up. I don't know either. I mean, we're LBI people, so we were only like 15 minutes from there, right? But I don't think that was the reason why. But anyway, what makes that so notable, right? Let's give us a little rundown here.
Yeah, so it was Saturday, May 20th. It was a weekend day for a Philly Am qualifier, which we would say is rare, right? So took a look back in the Farmer's Almanac just to get some context, just to make sure my memory wasn't deceiving me when I went back to recollect this momentous day. It was 23 mile an hour winds, steady, gusting to 35 that entire day. The field was teeing off between 11 a.m. 2 p.m. And it looked like during that time, steady 62 degrees at that point in May. So late May, right? We're 1 week before Memorial Day weekend at this point down here at Greenbriar. So tough conditions, I'd say.
And to boot, I don't think to this day I've played firmer greens.
Oh my God, dude. It was absolutely outrageous, the conditions out there. Complete parking lot.
Dude, I 3-chipped the second hole from just off the green. 3-chipped
The second hole was
crazy. Dude, my first chip I hit and I thought it was fine. I was like, whoa, what the hell was that? Like, stop. I didn't believe it yet, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I chipped it back and I chipped it all the way back to where I was on the other side of the green, on the front. I was going front to back. Like I said, I 3-chipped the hole and I was like, it was such a bad double. And then after that, I remember like adjusting a bit, but say 5 pounds is going to be like that April 13th, right? You would be better off practicing your chipping in the 5 pounds parking lot than you would be on the practice green.
Absolutely.
It really,
oh my God.
Grab your beat up balls and just hit put a little target in the parking lot and just try to bounce a couple balls up there. Anybody out there that day has to remember that place, right? Has to remember those greens and has to remember that wind. And
so I want to set the stage a little bit for the actual venue. So I had never seen this place, obviously, like we said, and I showed up like 90 minutes early for some reason that day. I don't know if traffic was not bad or something, but I got there. I remember getting there very early. And I remember hitting balls for 30 minutes or whatever, warming up and just being done and having 45 or 50 minutes to go before my tee time. And I remember just walking into the clubhouse and I realized this is a senior citizen home. I'm sitting in a senior citizen home. I walked down the hall. I saw a synchronized swimming class with no one under the age of 75. I saw a bird keeping room.
Okay.
Very weird.
Yeah.
There was folks playing checkers and board games. Just a really bad headspace to be in if you're about to compete in a local amateur golf qualifier.
As if the vibes weren't bad enough.
Right. The last thing I needed to see was Gertrude doing jumping jacks in the 5-foot pool.
Nobody wants to retire in Watertown. Like that was never anybody's dream.
Absolutely
Like,
not. Yeah.
So it's probably not the happiest bunch in there either.
And we'll get to some Google reviews later, but weird shit going on there. So anyway, like we said, this course, the wind is just flying around. The wind's up. The greens are firm as fuck. It's a parking lot. The scores that day were some of the most horrific I've seen in a gap qualifier probably in recent memory, the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Just going through the scores here, and happy to peruse this leaderboard, still very much up on the gap website. Low score medalist in this qualifier was 1 over par 73, Jeremy Wall. His brother actually finished second in this qualifier. Yeah, so looking at Jeremy's card, 2 bogeys, 1 birdie. 15 pars.
That's unbelievable.
That's outrageous.
That's so good.
That's like one of those like strokes gained like that Ken Duke round in the Players like in 2010 or whatever, gaining like 10 shots on the field. This was it.
Yeah.
I mean that's an unbelievable round. Probably the best round played in the gap that year.
Yeah.
I would say 73.
They go clean like that. 15 pars at that place.
Right. And then his brother, Ethan, shot 4 over 76 to finish in second. He made an 8 on the first hole.
And still shot 76.
And played the rest of the way 1 over and shot 76. That day, there were 5 guys in the 70s.
So, and only 3 guys not named Wall. Right. And yeah, you take those 2 out of the field, right? Because they don't even usually play in the stuff. I think that was their first year ever even playing in the gap stuff. But anyway, you can count on one hand the guys that break 80. When has that ever happened?
Right. Right.
I mean, never. Like, no courses.
And it wasn't one of those IREM qualifiers. There was 73 players in the field.
Yeah.
There was low 13 in ties.
Yeah, there wasn't 3 foursomes out there.
Right. I mean, it was just a complete calamity out there. Just it was windy. It's an old folks community, so you had like just double houses on holes, right? So there's just OB everywhere, right? Did you have any other experiences playing the course?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually didn't lose the ball out there the other day, surprisingly. And I was really bad at the time. I wasn't even playing much golf with it. Right. That was like one of the only qualifiers I played in.
Right.
I somehow kept it in play that day, and I had a greenside triple from a bunker, and I 3-chipped that other hole. And other than that, I played kind of clean.
Okay.
But I just remember just holding on for dear life that whole day. I mean, I was really steering the ball around that day.
Sure.
I don't think I was even like setting my hands. I was just kind of shoulder butting the ball around.
So just going back to the theme of the old folks community, one of the weirder parts was obviously there's not a lot going on down in Watertown. And obviously it's a residential community. The old folks, they live on the houses. I would say there were probably over 30 people.
I remember this
as spectators.
Watching. They were acting like it was like a PGA Tour event.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they came out of their houses onto like the fairways to watch.
Yeah, I remember this.
I remember just thinking, this is the weirdest fucking thing ever. What's happening?
I remember the one par 3 had like 10 or 15 people on it, and they were clapping and stuff. Like the green, they were like,
and no one could hold the green anyway.
I remember I hit the green on that hole. It was like the 8th hole, and they like one guy caught them. He's like, "That's the first ball we see on the green in an hour." Or something.
There was some serious thud that day out there. Oh my god! And so
it really was a weird day, man.
Such a weird day. So it was a par 72 out there, Greenbriar. The average score was 86. 86.
Let's go through some notable names. I mean, we'll throw our names out there. We shot 83s that day.
Absolutely, we shot 83s.
And I guess that was probably my most proud 83 of my life. I had no game at the time. The course was hard. It felt like a 73, to be honest with you.
Let's see. So we had Blaine Lafferty shot 78.
Okay. From Little Mill.
Right. Mm-hmm. Chris Bender, 79.
Okay.
Sean Lavin shot 80, got in.
Okay.
Jack Irons shot 80. Who also led the field in birdies that day with 4.
Okay.
Which is insane. He had, this is crazy. He had 4 birdies, 3 doubles, and a triple. And shot 80, got 80. Yeah.
There was not many birdies out there that day.
Brian Islam of Huntington Valley got in at 81. Let's see. Yeah, we're up there at 83. Mark Benevento out at Cricket shot 85. Your brother Drew, 85. Chris Lawler, Riverton Zone, 85. These are good players.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. These are some of the stalwarts of the section. Let's see. And then I don't see any other. We had a Stamberger as a WD. So.
Well, I remember one dude he's a solid player, shot 100.
Joe Spitaleri.
Andrew Jaskell, I think it
or
was.
Andrew Jaskell out of Torresdale. Yeah, shot 99.
99. So he did break a
51.48. That's pretty
And he's
crazy.
like a legitimate like 1 or 2 handicap.
Right.
Like it's not like he's a 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I'm not going to say 99 was out there, but like it's not like you can't see it.
Right.
Like if you lose a drive, I mean, I'd give him credit for posting the score, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I could see on the wrong day. I mean, you go out there and you legitimately couldn't play.
Yeah. And he led the field that day in triples or worse with 5.
Wow. So that's at least 5 retees.
Right.
Probably more, right? Like,
there was a fellow on the field that made 7 doubles.
7 doubles. Oof.
There was a guy.
That's like a 40% clip.
Yeah.
Basically doubling every other hole.
Yeah, they get you in the Hall of Fame. You're going to talk about the Slow Bleed Award. 14 bogeys.
Whoa, who was that?
Brad Hornforth. 14 bogeys and a double.
Oh,
that's
man.
the Slow Bleed.
2 pars?
And 14 bogeys, 1 double, 3 pars.
Okay.
18.
Got it.
And then I would imagine Jeremy led the field in pars. As we said, Jack Irons led the field in birdies. And yours truly led the field in eagles that day. I hooped one on the 17th hole for a deuce to make the only eagle in the field that day at Greenbriar Oceanaire. So I think that's something I'll carry with me for a very long time.
You make an eagle at Augusta, you walk away with a little souvenir.
Yeah, like that Hogan plaque that they have at the top of the hill, Marion 18. Right? They should put 17, that short 4, where I hooped it from like 75 yards down there at Greenbriar.
Obviously, it wasn't you didn't spin the ball back because it was impossible.
No, of course.
It was like a double bouncer, or was it a one?
I think it was like it was a little bit uphill. I think it was 2 hops and in.
2 hops and in. Yeah.
I don't think there was any.
And that was actually your 17th hole.
That was my 17th hole. Yeah.
And what'd you do on 18? Because you missed it by 2. Did you?
18, I probably made a really choky bogey. But I did birdie that 9th hole, which was hard as fuck.
I made a jokey bogey. 18 was playing hard that day, though.
I birdied 9. 9 was hard as fuck. Yeah, I made a bad bogey on 18, of course.
So did
5,
I. Yeah, so did I.
Finished.
It didn't matter. We thought it might have, but we missed by 2. Anyway.
No. And the sick thing was I was kind of vibing on the back until I think I lost the ball on 11 and made a double. And then, it was out there. 81 was out there, but
81.
The quest continues for the
I was going to say,
Gap
the crazy thing is, what do we combine, like 0 for 11 on the Gap Am?
Snake bitten, you'd say, in that Gap Am. Yeah.
I mean, to this day, we missed it by 2 back then. We had no game.
Right.
And now, we're talking how many years later? 7 years later now?
But to be honest, I haven't played a Gap Am qualifier since then. I think that was probably
Lulu. You played Lulu last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Except for Lulu.
But in my modern era.
Yeah.
That was like the last pre.
That's true. I don't have excuses for the Am. I've only played like a couple open qualifiers, but I play the Am almost, I think, nearly every year.
Okay.
I'm probably a solid 0 for 8 on that one.
This was a tough one to swallow, though.
That was tough.
Yeah.
Battled my ass off out there that day.
I know. Me too. We fought for our fucking lives out there. What a grind. I'm glad we both played that event, and like I just brought that up, and I'm glad I had someone to share that with, and hopefully some of the listeners out there played there that day as well.
Yeah. No, that was definitely one of the most memorable ones. If you were going to do like a little short, this day in Gap history for a qualifier, it's a good place to start.
Absolutely. And I'm looking through at the photo gallery. Yeah, they actually did get a that number 12. Let me check my notes here. Number 12, that par 3 that you're talking about. They did get a shot of the gallery.
Oh, you got some pictures up.
I do have pictures.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Didn't you say Jaws was in one of those photos?
Jaws was in there, yeah.
What the hell was
I don't know what Jaws was doing there. Jaws was talking to Kirby in one of the pictures, which is wild. I don't know.
They might have misplayed. They might have
maybe like a running deer.
Yeah, they might have. Whoever did the albums might have made a mistake. I can't see Jaws being out there that day unless he was scouting the property for purchase.
Right. Yeah, moving in for the kill. Just going through the annals here of this is a crazy photo album. There's a guy with the full cart cover. Must have been that cold.
Yeah.
As well as it looks like on this guy's cart, there were rear view mirrors on the side of him as well.
For the community,
one of the senior citizen guys.
So he can drive around the neighborhood.
Full car cover. Looked like he was in the gallery as well.
Yeah.
What a soldier coming out to support this.
They really embraced that event. It was nice.
Yeah.
It's funny. I did put something out on Twitter I casted the net out there. I said, if there's anyone else who played in that day, got no bites.
Okay.
You know, it's a shame because I was hoping we get somebody like, you know, I was out there that day and they had a little story to share. But we really would love to hear from somebody, even just like in a new qualifier to look at. You know, something maybe we're not aware of. If you have a good story to share,
absolutely,
I would love to throw it out there because at some point we're going to run out of bad qualifying stories. there's only so many. This was a little more memorable of one of our 83s, but some of them aren't really that memorable.
Right,
like that 82 at Lulu. There's no story to tell you on that. I mean,
the 84 at Philmont. Some are sadder than the rest. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And if I could, I just wanted to read one of the Google reviews I had from Greenbriar Oceanaire. So this place actually got a 4.8 out of 5 stars on Google. Just wanted to read this one from Stan. This is the only review he's ever written. It's got 5 likes on it. I'm going to quote here. We moved here this last year after years of visiting friends here a few times each year, a lot of years. So we knew we were coming to Shangri-La, and we haven't been disappointed. The beautiful grounds and clubhouse, top flight, no pun intended, golf course, a multitude of fun activities and clubs, nearby fishing, boating, oceans and beaches, and most of all, friendly, kind, and helpful neighbors throughout the community. This is one of the most welcoming communities, second to none in New Jersey. So many of our guests have expressed similar impressions of this beautiful community and golf course in such a perfect location in New Jersey.
Talk about an inside job.
Oh
He's got 1 review, and that's what he writes.
That's it.
And he's got 5 likes too, huh? The whole management team liked it?
Yeah. We actually got a responst from the owner as well.
Okay.
Conveniently. One of the only ones in this thread with a response from the owner. Hey, Stan, thanks for the review. Right? Sure. Appreciate the kind words. I take it Stan doesn't have really great taste in golf courses, but maybe he just loves the firm and fast conditions out there.
I've heard they have a good aquatics program there. So maybe
some of the best synchronized swimming you'll get east of the Delaware. So that's good stuff.
All right, we'll leave you with that. So that's Oceanaire Greenbriar. That's Qualifying Chronicles. We hope you enjoyed it. It's something we're looking to continue to do. If you have any stories to tell or have any qualifiers you want us to focus on, shoot us a message on Twitter or X, and we'd be more than happy to include it. As always, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and we will see you guys next time.